Today I'm showing you another recipe straight from the pages of my brand new cookbook, Eat Your Heart Out. It's my Sheet Pan Teriyaki Chicken with green beans. It's all done on a sheet pan. Cleanup is minimal, flavor is maximal. Lovely, delicious chicken thighs, fresh, springy, crunchy green beans, and a delightfully sweet and savory teriyaki sauce that we're gonna make in 20 minutes flat. Okay, so obviously with a teriyaki sauce, you know what the deal is. It's supposed to be sticky and sweet and glazy and really just cover your whatever protein you're gonna use. I'm using chicken thighs today, but you could definitely do this with shrimp. You could do it with chicken breast. You could probably do it with steak. And the way we're achieving some of that sticky, tacky delightfulness that we love without using any refined sugar, just to remind you, Eat Your Heart Out is filled with 150 recipes that are gluten-free, refined sugar-free, and still full of flavor. That's the tagline. So you can really eat your heart out because it's all good for you. The way that we are getting that sticky deliciousness is with date syrup. Date syrup is one of the things that you probably aren't already shopping for, but you definitely should be. It's this beautiful, malty, like delicious sweetness without being overpowering. It's made from pureed dates. It's really a lovely addition when you just want that little hint of sweetness. And then we're using tamari, which is a great gluten-free alternative to soy sauce. You can use coconut aminos if you have those instead. Rice wine vinegar, definitely. You can sub for an apple cider vinegar or something if you don't have. Some sesame seeds, a little grapeseed oil, garlic and ginger. Let's cook. Part of keeping clean eating really fun and vibrant and delicious and celebratory is taking advantage of things like garlic and ginger that can really amp up your flavor. So I'm going to take a nice knob of ginger like I have here. I kind of just get the party started with a knife to take off those larger pieces, and anything super dry like that, this area right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and trim away. Let's see how deep it goes. Ooh, I feel robbed of the ginger knob I thought I got. Then you just take your spoon and just use it to gently peel away that very delicate skin here that's covering our ginger root. And this is a lot of ginger. You don't have to use quite as much if you're not quite as into the ginger flavor as I am, but I do find it adds quite a lot of something nice to this teriyaki sauce, teriyaki style sauce, inspired sauce. Then break into your head of garlic, which for some reason it was tough today. And my recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic because I like to not overwhelm people right out of the gate. But if you want to punch it up a little bit more, you can go for 3 or 4 and just pop them out of their skins with a nice little thwack of your blade. You definitely could mince these. In fact, that's probably the way I would go if I weren't doing what I'm going to do for the ginger, which is grate it over a microplane. And since I will already have that dirty and out, I'm just going to grate my garlic right on the same blade. So trying to leave the clove as intact as possible so I have something to hold on to. We're gonna cook this sauce a little bit, so all these flavors will mute down ever so slightly, but it is still a wonderful, fast, quick sauce to make to give your protein tons of flavor. We're gonna actually start with 1/2 cup of water in the base of my pan here, eyeballing. This is roughly what I think 1/2 cup of water looks like in my pan. Let's see how good I am at being the judge of 1/2 cup, okay? Here we go. Wrong by double. So we want 1/2 cup of water. And I'll be honest with you, this is sort of the trouble with writing cookbooks, is that when you are, generally speaking, a pretty loose and intuitive cook like I like to be, I like to keep it very simple and still elevated, simple and luxurious, which doesn't always involve a lot of like precise measuring. And when you write a cookbook, you test every recipe so many times to make sure everybody's gonna nail the recipe over and over and over again in your homes. And that just means that I have to like live by the rules for a second, which is not quite as loose and freeform as I normally do. 1/2 cup of water and 1/4 cup of our tamari. And again, you can definitely use coconut aminos, both great sort of gluten-free subs for soy sauce. We're gonna get that over a medium-high heat, along with a splash of rice vinegar. And I'm not gonna totally measure this for you, but about a tablespoon, depending on how nice and tangy you like this sauce to be. And I have to say, I love a teriyaki sauce. So sweet and heavenly and fragrant and pungent still with those nice, that garlic and that ginger coming forward. But I do miss a little acidity. I miss a little bit. It's the reason I love Carolina barbecue sauce, because like it's about mustard and vinegar with a little bit of sweetness coming through. And I'm feeling the vinegar happening back here. It's happening. Let's add a tablespoon of our date syrup. No refined sugar throughout this entire book. Normally speaking, happy to use honey, happy to use maple syrup. If that's what you have and you want to use that instead, go for it. But I really love the fact that date syrup is made just by just from pureed dates and a little bit of boiling. But and I have a recipe for it in Eat Your Heart Out in case you don't have it at your grocery store, but it is pretty readily available now. Okay, I'm giving this a quick swirl just to make sure nothing is sitting at the bottom. Don't want our date syrup to burn. Now, part of the reason I care so much about avoiding the refined sugar when I'm doing a reset like Eat Your Heart Out is, first and foremost, I find that eating sugar is like the gateway to eating too much of anything and eating things I wouldn't necessarily choose to eat. It's delicious. We know this. I eat it a lot, but when I'm trying to do this healthier reset, it's one of those things that if I cut it out, it's much easier for me to stick with healthy living. And that's not just because it's really fun to participate in meals where sugar is present. It's also like chemical. When you create a glycemic index roller coaster, a blood sugar roller coaster of eating things that really spike your blood sugar, processed carbs, refined sugars, your body naturally works really hard to get the sugar out of your blood, which brings you down here on the slump. And then to recalibrate and get you back to balance, it tells you to eat something sugary to get your blood sugar back up. And so it just sets you up on this vicious roller coaster that we can definitely avoid by just sticking with things that don't spike our blood sugar quite so much, but still give us all the flavor that we crave. So I'm gonna turn this heat down low for a second because I've been too much and I need to get our ginger and our garlic in so it has time to cook. Okay, I'm gonna grab a microplane and my peeled ginger and just get that in the sauce. Yum, yum, yum. All right, that looks beautiful. And I'll grab my garlic cloves and do the same. And you can see this is basically the entire cooking process. From here on out, it really is a matter of kind of setting it and forgetting it and trying not to scald your hand over the hot stove. And when I get to the kind of end of the garlic, just go ahead and toss it in. You can strain it out if you want to, or you can just let it continue, because after this sauce cooks and cools a little bit, we are going to use it to brush over our chicken, and then that's going to roast in the oven. So your garlic will have plenty of chances to cook and flavor, and you shouldn't waste any of it. Let me tell you, it smells delicious already. Most of the water has evaporated during that 5-minute simmer. You can see it's starting to thicken up. It has tons of that garlic and the ginger suspended in the sauce. Plenty of flavor. I'm gonna kill the heat for a second and make a quick slurry, which is 2 teaspoons of tapioca flour mixed into 2 teaspoons of water. Just give this a quick stir, just to make sure the tapioca is all dissolved. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add this into the sauce and then cook it another minute, and you'll see it really gives it that like silken, thick, velvety feel that we want to create our sticky teriyaki glaze. So into our pan, and you can see it kind of starts to lighten the color. Now let's cook 1 more minute just to complete that thickening process. Guys, it smells phenomenal in this kitchen. Okay, you can see the sauce has just had a chance to really get nice and thick and juicy. I mean, teriyaki me right now. That looks so good. Okay, we are going to stir in our sesame seeds, about a tablespoon. So, sesame seeds. And give those a quick stir. And now remove this from the heat and let the sauce cool completely. And then we will brush it over our chicken thighs and have ourselves a little teriyaki party. Okay, cool. Cool. Let me taste it. First, taste it. Make sure you like it. This is your moment to adjust. Reminding me to tell you that. So you forget that like the spice of ginger can get a little spicy. in the nicest way. I love it. It really just like packs a beautiful flavor punch. If you want it actually spicy, go ahead and add some chili flakes into the sauce at this point or while it's cooking. Definitely feel free to amp that up. You could even stir a little mustard. I mean, I know we're getting far away from teriyaki at this point, but if you wanted to add a little mustard in, you could, but it has so much flavor just as it is. In fact, don't mess with it. Don't do anything. Leave it alone. So while the teriyaki sauce is cooling, go ahead and trim your green beans if you've not already done so, just taking off the little stems on both sides, and add it to a bowl with another tablespoon of grapeseed oil, just to give them a light glossing, with a pinch of salt. And at this point, if you wanted to add, any other flavorings here, you definitely could if you wanted to spice them up, but I kind of love letting the teriyaki sauce be the focal point of the dish, and the green beans you want crisp and tender. They're gonna roast right alongside the chicken, which just makes this such an easy dish to create, an easy dish to eat, and especially an easy dish to clean up. Green beans, salted and oiled. And I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees, and I went ahead and lined a baking sheet with just some aluminum foil. And you just want to take a tiny bit of your grapeseed oil. You can definitely use a spray and use a clean pastry brush to just quickly grease the bottom of your tray so that you don't have any issues with the chicken sticking. Onto our now greased and lined baking sheet, I'm going to lay out our chicken thighs. And as with any time you are roasting protein and veg, you just want to make sure that they're not overlapping. We're not looking to steam. We want lovely roasting, which means maximum surface area created, maximum golden brown texture created. It's just a much better experience. So go ahead and lay your thighs out. If you have like pieces that are really thick, you can always go ahead and butterfly them, but these are pretty nice. Give my hands a quick wash, one sec. The moment of truth. We want to actually separate the sauce in half because we're gonna glaze half now and half when it comes out of the oven. So start with that much. We can always add more. Painting. True fun painting. And there's actually a little piece of garlic that just leapt out onto my chicken that I kind of want to leave there. I feel like I'm going to like it once it's had a chance to roast. It's going to be creamy and delicious. Obviously, you can toss the larger pieces of garlic if you'd like. Lovely, lovely. We're going to get that sticky teriyaki top, golden brown chicken underneath. Tons of flavor. Minimal cook time, minimal cleanup time, minimal prep time. This is 20-minute supper. All right, once all of your chicken is lovely and glossy, then go ahead and scatter your green beans around. Again, avoiding too much crowding that you think you might create steam. You want to have a nice single file layer of green beans around your pan. And once that is done, grab it, and to your 400-degree oven we go. 12 to 15 minutes until the thighs are cooked through but still juicy. The green beans are tender with a nice little bit of bite still. We'll hit it with a little more sauce, a little more sesame seed, even fresh scallions if I have them, although not necessary. That's it. Guys, I forgot about this chicken. It's been in there like 15 minutes. It should still be juicy. That is part of the joy of the teriyaki. It kind of seals in the flavor. Oh, and the green beans are lovely. These are a little bit bigger, so okay, good. Oh, even just salty, delicious. Okay, I've decided I want to do one thing, which is that I'm going to quickly brush these with your remaining teriyaki sauce. Spoon it a little bit over. Just give a little bit extra zhuzh of flavor. And then, you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to the broiler. We're living on the edge. Like 1 minute. Go to the broiler. Broil. Go. So excited. Can you see inside the way that the teriyaki is bubbling? Okay, we're gonna peek in. Ready? Oh, it's talking. Oh my gosh, it's singing. Singing sheet pan teriyaki chicken coming your way. Oh, yes. See, this is what I wanted. I want these little tiny charred ends, perfectly cooked, sweet, sticky teriyaki glaze. Get yourself a plate. You look great. Ah, it's saucy and it's glorious. And we're excited. Okay, green beans on, gorgeous, perfectly cooked chicken on. If we had fresh scallions, we could scatter those on, but not necessary. So much flavor already here. Go ahead and give yourself a little scatter of sesame seeds. Look at this, guys. Juicy chicken, tender green beans, sweet and savory teriyaki sauce, 20-minute meal from Eat Your Heart Out. Let's give it a taste. Okay, first of all, look at that juicy chicken. The teriyaki steals in all the flavor. Gets that nice little bit of like a slightly stickier glaze moment after the broil. It's fun food that makes you feel good, which is exactly how I want to eat when I'm doing a little bit of a reset, keeping it clean, but still keeping it good, which is why you can eat your heart out.